I'm good. Shumei.
Shumei here?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
I just
Yesterday, your your mom's eyes were bothering her. They
你就说昨天你眼睛不太舒服，今天好一点吗？
好一点，好一点。
你就说 get better.
okay.
Better.
I feel better.
I feel better.
Better. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
好一
good.
点好一点 feel
Thank
better
you. Thank you. Better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, yesterday she was telling us that Rebecca went to New York for some kind of
不是纽约客，错了，
It's not New York. It's
错了。
the Atlantic City for the
Okay.
DECA.
大西洋
DECA.
城。
It's a business class field trip. They have a
Okay.
competition there, a state competition.
Okay.
我错了，地点错了，说错了。
Yeah.
大西洋城，
What type of competition was it?
It's a business. It's a business competition, state level business class competition. It's called
Okay.
DECA.
Okay. Because Linda had trouble translating that. Because your mom was saying Becca, and she didn't know what it was. Okay.
Rebecca.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get started in a moment, but we will get started as soon as Sandy comes back. There she is. All right.
They're beautiful goods.
With us tonight is Sandy. Sandy was in the Saturday class, but because of her work schedule, she changed to tonight. So, Sandy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Today, I think it's normal because I changed the work. Right now, I Saturday need to work.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I take off.
Okay. So, Sandy, where do you work?
Supermarket, Hong
Okay.
Fa.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
Oh.
works. She
These
works
are
with. She
Hong
works.
Fa.
Yeah. She works with Helen.
Yeah, with Helen. This is my co-work.
是 my call
Coworker.
我的同事。
同事
对
coworker.
Yeah. I was in Hung Fa yesterday.
Ah,
Yesterday I take off.
Yeah. Every time I go there, I don't see you, nor do I see Helen, so I don't know.
Helen almost is afternoon. to
Okay.
evening. Yeah.
Okay, because I go in the morning.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay. All right. We're gonna get started. We're gonna go around. I'm gonna ask you. Of course, what you did. One thing I do want to mention. Yesterday evening's class. As I mentioned a little while ago, I asked Shumei about her mom. Her mom's eyes were bothering her. Last night you could see it. She was struggling trying to read the screen. There was another woman in the class that had allergies, and her voice was bothering her. So if you have something that's bothering you physically, let us know. And if you don't feel like you can talk, that's fine. Let me know, and we'll let you listen. Okay. All right. So let me start with I'll start with Sunny because she's up in the corner there. Sunny, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay. let me stop and go back. Sorry. What I want to do is, and this is something we worked with on Monday, is usually in English conversation, the start of a conversation, it'll start like, how are you? I'm fine, how are you? The next thing would be, and I've done this with Sunny before, is ask, in her case, about her mom. So let's try it again. So how are you, Sunny?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good. And how is your mom?
She is feeling well.
Good. Okay.
Thank you.
And what did you do today?
I went to Chinatown. I went to 报税怎么说
Tax
tax
accountant to go
Okay.
to see accountant，
accountant
Yeah.
有的去找会计。
对，
哇，这要报税了，这都
报
忘了。
税
哎呀，
报税accountant 会计师啊 accountant yeah 报税
Okay. In the Monday class, there's a woman, her daughter is an accountant, really an auditor, which is a specialized field in accounting. And she had to work like 3 straight days, actually stay at the company working because sometimes they get busy. Okay. Li Fang, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Good. I'm fine also. Thank you. How is Rebecca?
How Rebecca? How Rebecca 怎么样？ She yes fine.
Good. Perfect. Okay. What did you do today?
I took a 54 minute work at allowed by my homes yesterday. Yes, found.
Okay.
Yes, 哦，不是 afternoon.
Okay.
Yes, afternoon.
Okay.
就完了，是吧？
就完了。
Over。
我每天是
She usually said when she finishes,
锻炼。
she usually goes Mela. So
做饭。
I was waiting for that.
We are waiting for her to say next
我
sentence.
天天是做
Well,
饭。
when she finishes, she usually goes Mela.
没有
So-
啦
No, 没了。
，nothing。
Don't.
Okay.
No, I'm don't.
So you said 54 minutes. Okay. Joseph, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
I'm sorry.
I'm fine.
I'm good. Yesterday's class was like this too. We just started laughing at something. It was like,
Laughing.
yeah, it's so hard to keep going. Okay, so Joseph, how is your wife?
She is good. My wife and I went to study the Bible all day today.
Okay.
Judges and memory Psalm 16, chapter 16.
All right. Let me go to the whiteboard. So we have mem or eyes.
Memories.
It's actually I.
Memorizing.
This is actually an I sound. Memorize.
Memorizing.
Okay. Okay. So Joseph, this is a long I sound. Memorize.
Memorize.
Yeah.
Memorize.
Okay. Okay. Li Fang, were you looking at that? I can go back to the whiteboard. Oops. I can go back to the whiteboard. There's the whiteboard. Memorize.
Memorize.
So to try to remember, make yourself remember.
Memorize.
Okay.
Memorize.
Okay. Britash, how are you?
Hi, thanks. And you?
I'm good. How is your you have a granddaughter?
Yeah, it's very good. Thanks.
Okay. What did you do today?
Today, we bought the dinner from food trucks.
Okay.
The food trucks will be come to our place every Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of food?
Mahe. Today is Mahe.
Okay.
Change every week.
Oh, okay.
Can change track.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And Zoe, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. And you have a grand child? No.
No.
All right.
My son is younger.
Okay. All right. I'll ask that then. How is your son?
It's good. He is
He's
good.
good. Okay. Yes, we don't want to use it with it. Okay. What did you do today?
Today, in the morning, I went to the supermarket to buy some groceries, such as a large carton of milk, 2 pounds beef, 1 pound shrimp, and kiwi, strawberry, kale, broccoli. In the afternoon, I did yoga, cold dinner.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. One of the interesting things about what you just said is we're going to be talking about some of that today. We're going to be talking about counting and what we call countable and uncountable nouns. So as a way of starting, milk is uncountable. Okay, Sandy, how are you?
Good, thank you.
And now, for those of you that obviously most of you don't know Sandy, but Sandy, a few weeks ago, her husband was in the hospital. He had a heart attack. So how is he doing?
Yeah, he's back feel better, and go to work normal, like normal.
Oh, good. That's really good.
Thank you so much.
Does he have to take any kind of medicine or?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe need every day, every month, maybe every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
All right. So what did you do today?
Like normal, I went to working and go back, and my husband cooked dinner tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, and take the class.
Okay. And what did he cook?
He cooked some beef with broccoli
Oh,
and green pepper and onion.
yeah. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do that too sometimes.
Oh, yeah, that's very good, delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anna, how are you?
Good.
Okay, and how is your mom?
She's also good.
Okay, and what did you do today?
I went to school today and I did the NAEP test today.
Okay, and how did you do on the test?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay. All right. I hope you did well. Okay. Stephen, how are you today?
Good.
And how is Anna?
She is good.
Okay. And what did you do today?
I do eat breakfast and go to school.
Okay. And what did you have for breakfast?
Egg
Okay. Just eggs?
and milk.
Okay, eggs and milk. It's a good breakfast. Okay. We're going to look at the book and I'll show you the book and then I'll go to the whiteboard for a moment and then go back to the book. So let me make this full screen. Yeah. Okay, and share screen. Okay, so it says counting, and then it has countable nouns and uncountable nouns. So basically the definition of a uncountable noun is a thing we cannot count with numbers. Ideas, qualities, physical objects that are too small or too or like liquid, powder, or gas. So what all that means is, for example, it says we can't count qualities.
就是说不，这个讲的现在老师讲的是不可以数的名词，像茶叶呀、这个水呀、空气呀什么，就没法一个一个来量化的那个东西。像思想啊这些东西，这些比较抽象的东西。
Okay, so like I said, we can't count what they say, abstract ideas or qualities. So for example, if I say Anna is smart, well, I can't really count smart. Stephen is good, I can't count good.
That's not a noun.
That's not a noun, I know. Yeah, okay.
I think the idea is good, the
Yeah.
idea. But didn't people say ideas?
Yeah. You can't count ideas. Okay, there's a good one. All right. You also can't count things, and let me.
Knowledge is like a
Yeah.
知识是没法数的，像这些词。
All right. Other things that you can't count. If you look here, I have a bag of rice. Now, in theory, you could actually count that, but you're not going to. It's just too small.
他说这有一袋米，但是你不能够数这个米有多少，因为太小了。
And then other things are countable. Like I have a phone.
他说有这个现在名词分两种，一种可以数的，还有一种不可以数的。
So if we have, let me go to my other screen. Let me switch over. Where are we? Okay, I'm going to show you this. These are words that we can use for countable nouns. We can use numbers. I have one cell phone, or I have a cell phone. There are other words that we can use. And let me share my screen. So for uncountable nouns, we can use little. I have a little rice.
这是不能数，它可以用一些像这些词 little, few, a lot。他说我可以有一点点米 ，a little rice。
Few we can only use for countable nouns.
few few 只能用在可以数的那个名词上。
So I have a few apples.
我有几个苹果 ，few apple。
We can use a lot for either countable or uncountable. I have a lot of water. I have a lot of apples.
这个 allow 的就是可以用在可数的和不可数的名词都可以。
Many is only for countables. I have many apples.
Many 也是只能用在可数的名词上。
Much we can only use for uncountables. I don't have much water.
Much 是用在不可数的名词上，就是我
any
没有很多水。
Any we can use for both. I don't have any rice. I don't have any apples.
Any 就是两种都能用。
Lots of, same, we can use it for both. I have lots of apples. I have lots of rice.
接下来这个 lots 也是可以两种都能用。
And then I have some, again, can be used for either.
Some 也是两种都能用。
So again, the key here is little and much can only be used for uncountables and where am I?
Many
Few.
and few for countable.
Yeah, many and few for countables.
所以就是 little and much 是不可数的，就名词就用 little and much， 可数的就用 few 还有 many， 只有这两个这一组这个词有区别，其他的是都可以用。
Okay, so let me make sure I'm sharing the book, and then we can take a look at the book. Okay, so it says here, use a or n or a number when talking about countable nouns. There is an egg. We could also say there is one egg. There are 4 eggs. Or there are some eggs, there are a few eggs, and there are some eggs. For rice, things like that we can't count, we use the singular verb is, and we use one of the words we just right. So oops, where am I? We can use a little rice, a lot of rice, much rice, some rice, any of those would work. But we can't use many, few. Back to my book. Where am I? Okay. All right. So, for example, Stephen, you said that you you had eggs for breakfast, right?
Stephen.
Stephen? Did I lose him? Oh, no, he's there. Stephen, you had eggs for breakfast?
Yeah.
How many eggs did you have?
2.
Okay, again, so that's countable. Stephen had 2 eggs. Stephen had some eggs. Okay. Further examples of countables, a sandwich. Last week, me and my son went to the store and got 2 sandwiches for our dinner. Apple, an apple, 1 apple, 4 bananas or some bananas, 2 burgers. Then I believe it was Zoe said she went shopping.
Zoe.
叫我
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have on our uncountable side milk. You said you bought milk. Now she said she bought a carton of milk. The carton is countable.
Yeah. Car.
Right. That is countable, but the milk itself is not.
Yeah. But milk is uncountable.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. The same is true for water, some spaghetti, and some sugar. Okay. So let's take a look at 31.3. And let me, I think that's most of you guys. So let's start with, again, one down there is Stephen. So, okay, start with Sunny. Well, first of all, our example is Michael has, and they said they had 2, which is number. We can't use that on milk. Michael has some milk. So, Sunny, number 1, Jake.
Jake has an apple.
Right. Now, Sunny, could we use some there?
No. Don't
Okay.
use some.
If we, let's say we had, there were 3 apples.
对，可以用 little 一些 a few. Yeah.
You could also use some. Let me close that out. So let me go back. Yeah, let me go back. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So again, if we look here, it's countable and uncountable. So we could use some if there is more than 1. So in this case, her answer was right because there was only 1. But for apples, we can use.
Or some.
Yeah.
Or some.
Let me make sure I'm sharing that again. Okay. Li Fang.
Yeah.
There. Sorry, I had to look at that picture. I didn't know what it was. It's a coffee maker. Okay. There is a coffee, or there is some coffee.
Some coffee 应该是 there is a coffee. Oh,
There is some coffee. Right.
应该 a coffee 吧 ，a coffee 一壶。哦，对，要上一些咖啡，
Some coffee.
上咖啡。
Yeah, right. There is some coffee. If we're talking about the pot, we could use there is a pot of coffee, or there is a cup of coffee. So like
一壶，
一壶，应该是一壶对。
So like with the milk,
pot.
with the milk, a carton of milk, but we can't say a milk. So the
不能说一个牛奶，说一盒牛奶就 a carton of milk 可以的。
okay. Joseph. Rena.
Rina eats some spaghetti.
Okay. How could we use that with the article a? How could we use it? Rena eats a.
Plate.
A boy of.
A plate. Spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly. Like Sandy said, it was Sandy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sandy said, Rena eats a bowl or a plate of spaghetti.
Yeah, bowl of spaghetti.
So the spaghetti itself, we can't use.
一碗，这是应该也不是圣母，应该一碗。
The spaghetti itself, we can't use a number or an article, but the thing that holds it we can. So a bowl of spaghetti. Rena eats some spaghetti. Rena eats a bowl of spaghetti. Okay, Zoe.
There are some eggs.
Right. And again, similar to what we had with number 1, we could use 2 if there were only 2 there. There are some eggs, but we have, I think it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eggs. So there are some eggs, which is correct. And Sandy, bananas.
I have got her some bananas.
Right. And if you only had 1, you could say, I've got a banana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me, I
Yes.
have a question. Number 2, there is means single.
Yeah.
Yeah, 应该是 there is a coffee.
Okay.
要用 some 应该是 are 吧 they are.
Okay. There is some coffee. Anytime we have an uncountable, if we look up a little further, uncountable nouns are always paired with singular. Okay. So,
yeah.
okay. And negatives again are use are for the positive, aren't for the negative. There are some eggs, there aren't any eggs, or there are no eggs would also work. And then the question is, are there any eggs? Okay. Again, for the countables, and this is what Sunny just asked, we use the is because we use a singular form. So rice, spaghetti. There is some rice. There isn't any rice. Is there any rice? Okay. So when you now go fill in the gap, are there any bananas? There are some bananas. There aren't any bananas. So let me go to Sandy. Oh, I did Sandy, sorry. British.
Oh, okay. Is there any milk? There is some milk. There isn't any milk.
Perfect, good. Okay. Anna, we have, there is some chocolate.
Is there any chocolate? There are some chocolates.
Okay. Chocolate is a uncountable. So in that case, we have to use the singular form. So it would be, there isn't any chocolate. Okay. And I have to ask you this, Anna. Anna, do you like chocolate?
Yes.
Me too. Okay. I think Steven said he likes strawberry, but that's okay. I'm gonna go to Steven anyway. Steven, do you like chocolate or strawberry?
Strawberry.
Okay, yeah, I thought you said that. All right, so Steven, we have there aren't any apples. So let's talk a little bit about apples. Steven, do you have any apples in your house?
No.
No, okay. Do you have any oranges in your house?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you count the oranges? If I said, how many oranges, can you tell me a number?
10.
Okay. So that means oranges, and in this case, apples are countable. So we're going to use the countable form. So we have, there aren't any apples. So how would we ask that as a question? So our first two words are there? So Stephen, are there
Are there
any
any
apples?
apples?
And because they're countable, like you said, you have 10 oranges. We've talked about this. We're going to use the word are. So we would have, there are let's do this. There are some apples. Or we could also say there are 10 apples if you have 10 apples. All right, really good, Stephen. And then answering, and this is something we've talked about in the past. A complete answer is subject, verb, object. So 3 words. In this case, is there any cheese? No, there isn't. And cheese is cheese itself is not countable. The reason it's not countable is it usually either a shape, a ball of cheese perhaps, or a package of cheese. So the ball, the shape is countable, but the cheese itself is not. So that's why we use the singular form. No, there isn't. Go back up to Sunny. Number 1, is there any milk?
Cheese.
Sunny?
Danny.
Oh, yeah. Yes. There is any milk.
All right. Yes, there is milk. Okay. And Li Fang, are there any burgers?
Burgers.
No. There aren't. But burger.
Okay.
Burger.
Make sure you have that S because we used aren't.
Aren't any burgers. 你要后面加 s 那个 burgers 加后面。
哦，因为aren't burger.
Okay. Joseph, is there any spaghetti?
No, there isn't spaghetti.
Okay. No, there isn't any spaghetti. No, there isn't. Okay, different types of containers. I'm not too thrilled with that one, but I'll use it anyway. So we have a box. Now, Stephen mentioned he had, well, usually on Sunday, he has cereal, and cereal comes in a box. Some people do call it a carton. There's usually the difference between a box and a carton in terms of food containers is cartons are usually meant for liquids. Boxes are for non-liquid things like cereal. What do I have a box of?
一盒什么 box 一盒什么 carton 就是里面一般是指里面装液体的。
Oh yeah, a box of tissues. Okay.
box 像一盒纸餐巾纸叫 box tissue。
Now, just be aware of this. When sometimes the word carton is used when it's a much larger, like if you're moving, sometimes people will use box and carton to mean the same thing. In this case, for like I said, for liquids like milk, we use carton of orange juice. We also use carton for, this is a little strange, don't know why, but carton for cigarettes. So I hope nobody smokes.
希望没有人抽烟。
But in the United States, they sell cigarettes. They'll sell either 20 packs or 20 boxes in one carton. For some reason, they use carton for cigarettes. I don't know why. Okay. Anyway, so we have box, but usually, like I said, that's dry stuff, dry foods, bottle, bag. And for people like Sunny who are in Philadelphia, you're not allowed to have bags. In Philadelphia, they cannot give you a bag for your groceries.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Really?
It's the plastic. It's
No plastic bag?
no plastic.
Yes.
So you got the paper bag?
Yeah.
It depends on.
对, pay money.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to Hung Fa in Philadelphia, they don't give you a bag.
Yeah.
That's good. Environmental friendly.
Yes. Sandy, did you know that?
Yeah. We are a supermarket maybe May, end of the May, and never gave the customer the plastic bag.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah. You need to bring your bags yourself or buy the other one.
Okay.
Yeah. Now need to.
That's good. We force us to use the recycle.
Yeah, recycle. Yeah.
But I use the plastic bags for my trash afterwards.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too. Yeah, me too.
All right. So we also have bar, like candy. Tube, kind of like, like toothpaste comes in a tube. Glass. I don't think did I show it here? No,
What is a bar?
A bar is just a
就像巧克力那种一块就叫 bar.
shape.
Oh, bar.
A bar of chocolate, right?
Yeah.
巧克力的一块一块的大块的。
那个翻译是不是叫条一条一条 bar？
哎，对对。
哦 ，OK。
A bar of gold, right?
它是包
Yeah,
袋。
yeah.
对，一块一条黄金。
包跟袋，可是
A
我
bar
查
of
的是包
gold
跟袋。
Right. Also a bar of soap.
Oh yeah, soap.
Yeah,
Yeah. 一块一条一块。A bar of soap.
Now, like I said, we have tube, we have glass. Now, glass, and we talked about this last week. Last week we had a cup. Glass is made from glass, whereas a cup is made from usually ceramic, clay. Glass is usually clear, not always, but usually clear. Carton and jar, and the difference between a jar and a bottle is really the top. The jar is much wider. So,
Wider?
Yeah.
啊，
一罐。
一罐就是一罐啊。
Yeah. And they're usually used for storage and like fruits and stuff if you want to can your own fruits. A couple
用来
of
储存食物的。
one other thing, like a couple of things that are missing, like I said, I mentioned cup. A little bit larger cup is called a mug. And then one thing that is I noticed missing on here is I just forgot what it was. All right, I'll remember it. All right, I forgot. All right. Going back to making uncountable things countable. And this is what I was talking about before. We can't count the thing itself. We can't count the sugar. It's just way too small, unless you have an awful lot of free time. You can't count water. It just is a liquid. And cereal is very similar to rice. It's just usually very small, and it would be very hard to count. So they are considered uncountable. So we have some sugar, some water, some cereal. So to make it countable, we use the container that holds it. A bag of sugar.
一袋儿糖。
I bought a bag of sugar.
一包糖。
Walmart.
一包糖。
3 bottles of water. So there are 3 bottles of water in the refrigerator. A bowl of cereal. Stephen had a bowl of cereal for breakfast. I know you had 2 eggs, but that's okay. And then they go and change. Oh, well, okay. It says there is a jar of coffee. Not a good example to use, but let me try to explain that a little bit. They still sell this in the store. It's not very popular anymore, but they sell something called instant coffee. And so basically you take a
速溶咖啡，就是 instant 咖啡。
Yeah, you take a spoon of the coffee, you put it in a cup, you put hot water, and the coffee crystals dissolve and turn into liquid coffee. The reason it's a jar is the jar is wide enough so that you can put the spoon in it to get the coffee out of it.
速溶咖啡都是放在那个一个罐子里这儿。
Like I said, this was not a good example of for jar, but that's what they use. So that's like I said, the jar was big enough. The top of the jar was big enough that you could put a spoon in it. Okay, so let me go to Zoe.
First one.
Number 1.
There is a bag of flour.
Okay. And I know you guys aren't that old, but there used to be another term that older people use. Really, kind of means the same thing. It was, there is a sack of flour.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Sandy, number 2.
There is a cup of coffee.
Right. And British, number 3.
Sorry, there is a carton of juice.
Right. You may hear some people use the word container. I'll put that on the board. It kind of means the same thing.
Container.
Yeah.
一个容器。
container.
Yeah, it really means the same thing as carton.
像一个盒子。
Okay, and Anna, spaghetti.
There are 2 balls of
Anna?
There are a ball of spaghetti.
Okay. What, Anna, how many bowls are there?
2.
Right. So there are 2 bowls of spaghetti.
There are 2 bowls of spaghetti.
Good. Do you ever have spaghetti?
Yeah.
Okay. You like it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I sometimes make that for my son, because it's very, very easy to make. Okay. Stephen. We have milk. So Stephen, how many? Okay. Let's take a look at this, Stephen. We have 2 of these, and if we go up here, we see those are that's a glass, but we need to make that plural.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll take care of it.
So
I will take care of it, yes.
Lucy, I'm gonna have to mute you. Okay. So Stephen, there are this is a glass. We have to make that plural. How would we make this plural? There are how many?
No.
So there are 2 glasses of milk. There are 2 glasses of milk. Okay. Use many to ask questions about quantity and much, quantity of countable, and much for uncountable. So like it shows here, how many eggs are there? And I see Sunny has the book with her. So Sunny, how many pages in the book?
There are many. Yes, many pages.
Okay, that's fine. There are many pages. Okay, and Li Fang, how many granddaughters do you have?
Glenn, how many Glenn?
你有几个孙女？
how many Glenn 的有10个孙女。There are 2 granddaughter.
Okay, in that case, we would say I have 2 granddaughters.
多的是，多的是有。
Joseph,
Yeah.
how many cameras do you have?
It's 4 cameras.
Okay, I have 4 cameras. Okay.
Four.
Zoe, how much water do you drink?
I drink too much.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
You drink too much.
Sandy, how much rice do you eat?
How much?
Me, Sandy?
Yes.
Maybe sometimes 1 bowl, sometimes half bowl.
Okay, good answer. And notice she used the container, the thing that it's in. Sometimes 1 bowl of rice, sometimes half a bowl. Okay. British, how much water do you drink?
Do you?
Yes.
Pardon?
How much water do you drink?
Oh, how much water? Usually I drink a cup of water.
That all?
1.
Okay.
1 cup.
All right. Let me ask a different way. How much water do you drink each day?
每天喝多少水？
每天一起的 4
Okay.
cups.
4 cups a day. Okay. Anna, how much homework do you get every day?
I don't have any homework.
You don't have any. Okay. All right. Anna, the answer to that is I get a lot of homework every day. Okay. Stephen, how many sisters do you have?
2.
Okay, so again, I have 2 sisters. Okay. And Lucy, how much water do you drink?
Lucy.
Lucy, you're muted. Lucy, 你麦打开。
Lucy，你的麦没有打开。
Lucy.
I drink 2 cups water.
Okay, so you really, I drink 2 cups of water a day.
A day.
Every day.
Okay, every day is fine. Okay. I want to go back to Anna. Let's see if she gets the answer better this time. Anna, how much homework do you get?
I get a lot of homework.
There you go. Perfect answer. Now, that's what you tell your mom, okay? All right. All right. So, for example, about questions about quantity, how many cupcakes are there? Again, countable. You go into ShopRite or something, they usually sell cupcakes in a package of 6. So there are 6 cupcakes. How many apples are there? Like I was talking about with Stephen, he has oranges. He has 10 oranges. But then on the uncountables, we use much. How how much pasta is there, how much chocolate there is there, unless we are using the thing that it's on or in, how many bowls of pasta are there, how many bars of chocolate are there. And if you remember from last week, pasta is the shape, and I guess we can go through this. So how much and how many, how much pizza is there? Okay, pizza is considered uncountable as by itself. Usually when you get pizza, they cut it for you. So you could say how many slices of pizza are there, but in and of itself is how much pizza is there. Okay, Sunny, number 1.
How many glasses of juice are there?
Good. Let me go to Li Fang, number 2.
How many cartons 哎，这儿啊，应该这个吧？of 90阿姨，哎呦，
这边吧 ，this side, the left
这个
side, right?
哦，
这是 how much water?
How much water? How much water? Yes, there.
Good. Joseph, number 3.
Number 3. How many potatoes are there? Potatoes are there.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. Zoe, number 4.
How many bars of chocolate are there?
Good. And Sandy, number 5.
How much pasta is there?
Good. And British, number 6.
How many cartons of juice are there?
Good. And Anna, number 7.
How many milks is there?
Okay. Remember, milk is not countable. So we would have to use much. How much milk is there?
How much milk is there?
Okay. Anna, how can we make that countable? Okay. So if we look up here, let me get this out of the way. We look up here. It says uncountable nouns can be made countable if they are in a container. So to make this countable, we have to come up with a container. So what Anna, do you drink milk?
Yes, I do.
Do you have it in a cup or a glass?
A glass.
Okay. So to make this countable, what we have to do is how many glasses of milk are there? Okay. All right. It is now 8:35, so I'm behind schedule as usual. So we'll look at measuring next week. Let me stop sharing. Before I do that, let me save my whiteboard. Share. Not a lot not on there, but that's okay. And I can stop sharing. All right. Anybody have any questions?
大家还有什么问题吗？今天这个部分课就学完了，下次再学下面部分了。
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So for those that are interested, we will switch over to conversation. If you want to stay with us, you're welcome to. I know that Stephen will not and Anna will not. So, anyway, like I said to Anna, I hope you did really well on your test. And Anna and Stephen, have a good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dan, do you want to stay on? We're gonna.
我们下面是那个对话，我们可以练一下对话。如果你想参加，也可以留着。
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, usually on Tuesday, we do have the conversation, but usually Anna and Stephen leave. So, and Anna is 15, so she's in high school. Stephen is 9, so he's still in elementary school. So they do have to go to school tomorrow. So. Okay, let me bring up the conversation. This conversation is really about letters. It's in and of itself, it's not a topic that has a lot to discuss, but there are some things in here that I will ask. And so let me bring up the words first for pronunciation. So the word, we have business, or most people will pronounce this without that I. Business or businesses are fine. Whenever, and as you can see, I have the Chinese translation. Hopefully they're right. Down, in this case, down has several meanings. Here it means to be sad or unhappy. It can also mean like the feathers in a coat is also called down. And below is another meaning of down. Down on the first floor is my washing machine. So has several different meanings. In this case, it just means feel sad or unhappy.
老师说这个 down 有很多个意思，但在我们这个篇文章里，正好是用的这个忧伤这个意思。
Workplace, collection, difference, convenient, instantly, and relatives. Okay. So let me open up the okay. Oops, I stopped sharing. Okay. Okay, so let me open up the conversation, and since Kate just joined us, I'll have her read along with Sunny. So Kate, you read the first, and Sunny, you read the second.
Who wrote the letter to you?
My dad wrote the letter to me. Where he was on a business trip.
Did you keep the letter?
Yes, I put it in a folder. Whenever I am done, reading his letter would be a good way to cheer me up.
What was the letter about?
He taught me about his new workplace and how things were there.
How did you feel about the letter?
I was glad to know that he was from in another city.
Do you have a letter collection?
Yes, I collect all the letters from family and friends. It's one of my hobbies.
Do you like writing letters or emails?
I prefer writing paper letters.
Do people in your country usually write letters?
Years ago they did. Now people prefer emails.
What's the difference between emails and handwritten letters?
Emails are much more convenient than letters because they are free to send and they get there instantly. However, letters are much more special.
Why should we write letters to friends or relatives?
It's a good way to show love to people you care about.
Okay, good. I'll go to Lucy and Sandy. Lucy, you read the first, and Sandy, you read the second.
Who wrote the letter to you?
My dad wrote the letter to me when he was on business trip.
Did you keep the letter?
Yes, I put it in a folder. Whenever I'm done, reading his letter would be a good way to cheer me up.
What was the letter about?
He told me about his new workplace and how things were there.
How did you feel about the letter?
I was glad to know that he was found in other city.
Do you have a letter collection?
Yes, I collect all the letters from family and friends. It's one of my hobbies.
Do you like writing letters or mails?
I prefer writing paper letters.
Do people in your country usually write letters?
Yeah, years ago they did. Now people prepare email.
What's the difference between emails and handwritten letters?
Emails are much more convenient than letters because they are free to send and they got there instantly. However, letters are much more special.
Why should we write letters to friends or relatives?
It's a good way to show love to people you care about.
Okay, good. Before I go to the next two people, Sandy, where in China are you from?
Fulan Changsha.
Okay. The reason I asked that was your pronunciation sounds a lot like a friend of mine who was actually from Zhejiang province.
Zhejiang?
Yeah.
Oh.
The pronunciation is very similar. It's very interesting. Okay. Let me go to Britej and Zoe. Britej, you read the first line, and Zoe, you would the. Oh, I'm sorry. And Phil, you go to the top of the page so they can read it.
Okay. Who wrote the letter to you?
My dad wrote the letter to me when he was on business trip.
Did you keep the letter?
Yes, I put it in follow. Whenever I'm done reading his letter would be a good way to cheer me up.
What was the letter about?
He told me about his new workplace and how things were there.
How did you feel about the letter?
I was glad to know that he was fine in another city.
Do you have a letter collection?
Yes, I collect all the letters from family and friends. It's one of my habits.
Do you like writing letters or emails?
I prefer write paper letters.
Do people in your country usually write letters?
Years ago, they did. Now people prefer emails.
What's the difference between emails and handwritten letters?
Emails are much more convenient than letter because they are fair to send and they get there instantly. However, letters are much more special.
Why should we write letters to friends or relatives?
It's a good way to show love to people you care about.
And let me go with Linda and Li Fang. Li Fang, you were the first, and Linda, you were the second. And,
Okay.
You're muted. 你 mic 打开。
方老师，你的麦打开。
Who wrote the letter to you?
My dad wrote the letter to me when he was on a business trip.
Did you keep the letter?
Yes, I put it in a folder. Whenever I'm done reading his letter would be a good way to cheer me up.
What was the letter about?
He told me about his new workplace and how things were there.
How did you feel about the letter?
I was glad to know that he was fine in another city.
Do you have a letter collection?
Yes, I collect all the letters from family and friends. It's one of my hobbies.
Do you like writing letter or email?
I prefer writing paper letters.
Do people in your country usually write letters?
Years ago they did it. Now people prefer emails.
What's the fully
Between difference.
Difference between email and written letters.
Emails are much more convenient than letters because they are free to send and they got there instantly. However, letters are much more special.
Why should we write letters to friends or relatives?
Good.
Relatives. It's a good way to show love to people you care about.
Okay. And then Joseph, you read the first and I'll read the second.
Okay. Who wrote the letter to you?
My dad wrote the letter to me when he was on a business trip.
Did you keep the letter?
Yes, I put it in a folder. Whenever I'm down, reading his letter would be a good way to cheer me up.
What was the letter about?
He told me about his new workplace and how things were there.
How did you feel about the letter?
I was glad to know that he was fine in another city.
Do you have a letter connection?
Yes, I collect all the letters from family and friends. It's one of my, and I gotta move this, one of my hobbies.
Do you like reading letter or emails?
I prefer writing paper letters.
Do people in your country usually reading letters?
Years ago, they did. Now people prefer emails.
What's the difference between email and handwritten letters?
Emails are much more convenient than letters because they are free to send and they get there instantly. However, letters are much more special.
Why shall we writing letters to friends or relatives?
It's a good way to show love to the people you care about. Okay. I said there isn't a lot in it of itself to talk about in terms of what they say here. So I'm going to go through some of the lines and ask you questions based on the lines. So we're going to look at line number 4 here. It says, whenever I'm down, reading his letter would be a good way to cheer me up. So where am I? Okay. All right. So let me start with Sunny. I don't know how you got down in the lower part of the screen there. You were up in the corner. Now you're down in the lower part. But anyway, Sunny, what do you do? What is the way you cheer yourself up? How do you cheer yourself up?
你做什么让自己高兴起来？
哎呀，我做什么让自己高兴起来？吃。Many things. Maybe listen music. And watch TV.
Okay. What kind of music do you listen to?
What kind of?
流行音乐
Rock.
Rap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
那个摇滚怎么说来着？blues 不是，摇滚 jazz 那会儿没记住。 摇滚
rock and roll
对，还有摇滚怎么说呢？摇滚
Sonny, I don't know what your sound is not very clear.
rock
Rock and roll.
rock and roll
对 rock
Okay.
and roll yeah
Okay, rock and roll.
yeah
Okay.
rock and roll
Okay. Kate, what do you do to cheer yourself up?
Listen to the music.
Okay. And what kind of music do you listen to?
Popular music.
Okay. Linda, what do you do to cheer yourself up?
I like listen to the music too, and I sometimes sing songs, and maybe talk to friends who are cheering me up.
Okay. And Lucy?
I play ping pong to cheer me up.
Okay. All right, we're all going to go over to Lucy's and cheer her up. Okay. Sandy, what do you do to cheer up?
Sometimes have big dinner. Sometimes listen to music. Listen music. Sometimes go shopping.
Okay. Sunny gave us a thumbs up there. What kind of music do you listen to?
Public music.
Okay. All right. British, what do you do to cheer yourself up? And she's not on camera. She might have dropped off. British, are you there? Oh, there she is.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry.
What do you do to cheer yourself up?
What did you
你做什
do?
么让你自己高兴起来？
Oh,
就是心情不好的时候，做什么会让你高兴起来？
playing piano,
Okay.
go outside to have a trip, and reading books.
Okay. You said you play piano. What kind of music do you play?
What kind of music? Old 老人的钢琴。I will show you.
Classic music probably.
I'm a beginner.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Zoe, what do you do to cheer yourself up?
Usually I do yoga, go shopping, sometimes cook food.
Okay. Joseph?
Yeah. I'm reading the Bible. The Bible says, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you."
Okay. Just one thing, if you read the Bible to cheer you up, I believe it's don't read the Book of Ecclesiastes. That is not a cheerful book. Shimei, are you there?
Yeah.
Do you know what the translation for Ecclesiastes is?
What's that? What's
It's
that?
It's a book in the Bible. It's was written by Solomon, and it says that there's nothing new under the sun.
传道书。
哦，传道书。
Yeah, that does not cheer you up.
Yeah. A lot of philosophy type things.
Yeah, but and it's very depressing philosophy too.
Tonight, two girls is called the craziest person to our house.
Oh, okay.
and read the Bible.
Oh,
read the
good. Yeah.
to you to
Yeah.
us.
Where you live, British?
Huh?
Where you
Oh, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, near Pittsburgh.
Forgot that. Yeah, you Joey in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shima, I don't know how you forgot that. She's near Catherine.
Yeah.
Okay. Li Fang, what do you do to cheer yourself up?
你做什么让你高兴？
I like to listen music, and or play table tennis.
Okay. All right. So you and Lucy can cheer each other up. Okay. I asked that same question on Sunday, and someone on Sunday gave me an answer that cheered me up. They said, "I take Phil's English class."
Yes.
No.
I think so. English class.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to it says a little further down, do you have a letter collection? Actually, let me not go there yet. They're talking about two different types of letters. One is it says paper letter, or what we call handwritten. I believe they use that down a little further. And the other is an email. Yeah, handwritten letter, email. When was the last time that you wrote a letter by hand? For me, it was like like 25 years ago.
Long time ago.
对，就是老师问那个上次手写信是什么时候？用手写信，老师说他是20多年前了。
差不多。
So Linda, when was the
没有人
last?
写信了。
Well, when was the last time you wrote a letter by hand?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Recently I was writing letters to my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not much, but sometimes I write a letter.
Yeah. All right. Kate, what about you?
About 20 years.
Okay. Who did you write it to? You remember?
My friend.
Okay. Sunny, what about you?
Maybe 30 years ago.
Okay.
College send to college classmates.
Yeah. Okay. And Lucy?
Maybe 20 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. And British?
40 years ago.
Okay. Sandy?
I think 2 years ago, I read a letter to my daughter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why a letter, not email or text?
Because we live together. And I want to talk to her, but he don't something and don't understand. So I wrote a letter. Yeah.
Okay, I see. How old is your daughter?
Right now she's 25 years.
Okay. 25 years old. Okay. Zoe, when was the last time you wrote a letter?
Long ago, when I was in college, I wrote to my parents, tell them things of myself.
Yeah. Okay. Joseph?
Yeah. About 13 years ago, I used to communicated with my father, mainly by reading paper later.
Yeah.
But now with my son is all email.
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's not even what's up, it's sup.
Yeah.
Li Fang, when was the last time you wrote a letter?
I 90年代，9 20应该 at 9 20 times 90年代给
90s?
1990s.
Yeah, 1990s.
1990s.
Yeah.
90年代，get 给吧 ，get 给to daughter 写信，写是
wrote
Wrote letters to your daughters.
wrote letters daughters
To my
daughter.
To my daughters.
my daughters.
Yes.
All right. Going back to the collection here, it says, do you have a letter collection? I actually do. I mentioned last time I wrote a letter was in the 30 years ago. I used to write to a friend of mine regularly, and I still have all the letters that from that. Anyway, collection. Many people collect stamps, coins, other things. So the next question is, Li Fang, do you have any? Do you have a collection? Do you collect anything?
你有什么收藏品吗？有的人收藏那个硬币呀，有的人收藏邮票，你是有什么收藏的爱好？
我没有什么可收藏的，收藏原来收藏一点邮票，现在也都送人了，都送完了。
No, nothing. 那你就说没有 No.
No.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever collected anything?
你以前有没有收集什么呢？
我们有邮票
Stamps.
Stamps, yeah. So I used to collect stamps.
I used to collect.
I used to collect stamps.
I used to collect. Collect.
Stamps.
Stamps.
Good. Okay. Joseph, do you collect anything?
I used to collect moving mushroom. I have several at the home. It's 5. It's 5. Mushroom.
Okay. Now, for those of you that don't know, Joseph is a photographer.
Photographer,
He used to.
语文学真好，学英语还老配的。
And he used to take photos for the People's Liberation Army in China. Do you have any? Do you have a photo collection?
是问我吗
Yes.
Oh.
Do you have a photo collection?
Photo.
他问你有没有收那个相册，收藏那个收集相片儿 photo collection。
Now, well, a collection is 主要刚才我说的可能没能听出来，我刚才说那个电影机能听出来吧？
电影机
Marvel
啥
cinema
Okay, movie collection.
movie
movie
那你是用那个你是收藏是收藏电影是吗 movie
那电影机
电影机，
电影机
对我
那
家里头
就是那个
微信
我家里头有一个房子放了好几台电影机，
那是放电影的
放电影的
老
对，35毫米的电影机，这个16.5毫米的电影机，还有8.75毫米电影机我都有。
哦，就是那种以前放胶片的那种是吧？
对对，胶片的，
对对。
It has all the collection that the one in the old days they in the movie theater that's for the not the digital the film one.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the English.
Film.
No,
Film
he have the
Film
machine.
Oh,
He has
the
the machine for this kind of film.
projector.
projector，
Yeah, projector.
Yeah.
不就是幻灯机吧？
Different kind of projector for different kind of film. He has a whole
原
room
来
of that.
在北京的家里头，我有这个井冈3排的好几台，还有这个好几台那个电影机。
Okay.
Different version of the machine.
Yeah. Because I used to have like 16 millimeter, 35 millimeter. That was the really the width of the film. Yeah. Okay. Zoe, do you collect anything, or did you ever collect anything?
Yeah. In China, I collect stamp and stone called rainflower stone.
Okay.
Chinese name 雨花石。
哦，雨花石 Chinese。
It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still have those?
Sorry.
Do you still have the stones?
你还保持着它们吗？
Yeah.
Okay.
In China, my house.
Oh, okay.
House.
Okay. In your home in China. Okay.
Yeah.
Just one minor thing. Because it was in the past, we would say collected. Yeah. So you put the ed on there. Okay. Sandy, do you collect anything, or did you collect anything?
3 years ago, I collect some stamps and coins, but right now I don't collect because too much things is too much stuff at home. Yeah.
Okay. We'll go a little bit to our lesson today. We're talking about countables, and things in your house are countable. So we would say too many things.
Yeah.
I have too many things.
Oh, too many things.
Yes. Okay. All right. British, do you collect anything, or did you collect?
I used to collect stamps and the postcards.
Okay. Lucy?
Nothing now. But before I collected the letters.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said collected, which is right. Good. Sunny?
I like collections of 那个文 glasses.
Okay.
酒杯。
酒杯 oh.
Wine
glasses.
Yeah. Okay.
对 wine glasses. Oh, one glass.
How many do you have?
In Beijing, I have 100多个。我有一个酒柜专门是收这些。
More than
over 100.
Yeah, 100.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Kate, what about you?
I like collecting spoons.
Spoons? Okay.
Spoons.
In the United States, we have, well, yeah, I know you have them in China too. We have what they call souvenir shops. So if you go to, for example, New York City, they sell things that are related to New York. It's souvenirs. And Linda or Shumei, can you translate that?
What?
Souvenir shops.
Souvenir shop 就是那个纪念品商店。
Okay, so is that where you get your spoons, or is it just different ones you see in stores?
No, I bought spoons.
在哪里买的？
这个叫什么？
Okay.
不行，你就说中文。
Yeah.
我忘了要
中文，忘了中文。
就是那种说不清楚，就是那种专门卖厨具的那种商店，我也说不清楚。
厨具，
厨具，
就是我喜欢收集勺子。
Collecting spoons.
去商店去买勺
Just
子。
you bought it from the kitchen store.
Okay.
It's specified.
All right.
对
Interesting. 这个还没听说过这种。
Okay.
各种各样的超市。
All right. And Linda, what about you?
I collected at least 2 sets of the coins in America.
Okay.
2 size.
So like
钱币 yeah.
like the
是钱币吧
the quarters?
Yeah, the quarters.
Yeah. Okay. I mentioned on Sunday that I used to collect pens. So similar to what Kate would do, I would go into the stores that sell pens and buy pens. There's a lot of very different, interesting pens around, different colors and everything else. So, don't know what I did with most of them, but like I said, it's it's very similar to Kate buying spoons. I bought pens. And one of the things that they used to collect here many years ago, it's much harder to do now, but bottle caps. So the tops of bottles from soda or beer. Okay. And either Linda or Shumei.
老师刚才说，美国这边他们有人专门收集那个金属的瓶盖。Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I used to collect those when I was a kid. You'd find them all over the road and pick them up. Okay. We're talking about letters. Let's talk about email. Li Fang, do you send emails?
你发的 email 吗？
发呀。
你是 yes 啊 ？I send email， 你回答英文。
yes I 有的话
yes I send email。
yes I send email.
Okay. How often do you send emails?
你多长时间发 email 一次？
Is it every day?
不定期的，不定期是 No，定期我不知道怎么说。
He not she's not she don't know.
Okay. Well, that's the
I don't
answer.
know.
That's the answer. I don't know. I don't know is a perfectly good answer. And for those of you who have children, even like Sandy, who has a daughter who's 25, I don't know is the answer you get a lot from your kids. You ask them a question, I don't know.
25.
Shumei probably knows that one too. ask Catherine or Rebecca. I don't know. Okay. Joseph, how often do you send emails?
I often email. Mainly my son who goes to college read to me.
Okay.
Tell him about his study and the life.
Okay. Good. As you know, I have two sons in college. I don't usually get emails. I do get text messages from my older son. Most often is, can you send me money?
That's typical. That's typical.
That's good.
All right. Zoe, how often do you
usually I reply email. I usually WeChat.
Okay. So
or cell phone.
Okay. So how often do you use WeChat?
Every day.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I also use that a lot. I have like 10 different groups on my WeChat. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of which one is what. All right. Sandy, do you send emails?
Yes. Maybe 3 times a week.
Okay. All right. And Pritesh?
Not often. I use WeChat and QQ.
Okay. I use WeChat and WhatsApp.
Yeah, WhatsApp.
Yeah.
QQ.
That's different from QQ, I think. Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Lucy, how often do you send emails?
I don't send emails often.
Okay. Okay, Lucy, you have a daughter in China, right?
No.
No? I thought you did. Okay. Never mind. You have a daughter here?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you call her? Do you text her?
Toast.
Text.
Text.
How do you communicate with your daughter?
Speak again.
Communicate.
How do you message your daughter?
Message.
什么时候跟你女儿发一次信息？多长时间？
Message.
Message.
3 days.
Like every 3 days?
No, 1 week.
3 times a week. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, 3 times a week.
Oh, 3 times a week.
All right, so let's try it.
Sounds-
How often, Lucy, how often do you text your daughter? 3 times a week.
Yeah, 3 times. Oh, 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. 3 times 1 week.
Okay. So again, the way
一
we
周3次。
let me just put that on the board. The way we phrase that in English is
3 times a week.
3 times.
3 times a week.
3 times 1 week.
We don't put 1 in there. We just said 3 times a week.
3 times. 3 times a week.
Good. 3 times a week. Okay. Sunny, how often do you
Yes.
send emails?
I often send email to my English teacher.
Okay. And Kate, how often do you email?
Non-schedule. I send the email.
Okay. And Linda,
Yes.
how often do you email people?
Recently, I send the email to my coworkers every day.
Okay. And one last question. Let me. Can you see the document? Can you see the? You can. Okay. Over here it says we were talking about collecting things. I collect all letters. It's one of my hobbies. So what is a hobby of yours? So Li Fang, what is a hobby of yours?
Hobby yours. Yes. 我给谁？
爱好。
你的爱好是什么？
哦，我的爱好。
对。
我的爱好，我喜欢活动运动。I like
Sports.
Sports.
Yeah, okay. Joseph, what's a hobby of yours?
Hobby.
My have many hobbies.
Okay.
Is exercise, sports,
Okay.
sports, reading, right, no, and chicken.
Okay. All right. And what's your favorite sport?
Favorite sport.
Yeah.
Favorite sport.
最喜欢的。
最喜欢的
体育运动。
现在最喜欢的就是关注。现在就是关注时政。
运动，最喜欢的运动项目。
他说运动，你最喜欢的运动，对呀。
最喜欢的运动，现在最喜欢的运动就 like the swimming.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good sport. It's good exercise too. Yeah. Okay. Zoe, what's a hobby of yours?
My hobby,
Yeah.
Sports, watch TV, listen music.
Okay. And what's your favorite sport?
Did yoga, run.
Okay.
Outline.
All right. Sandy, what's a hobby of yours?
I like swimming, and I like to travel around the world.
Yeah. Okay. What place have you been to that you liked the most? What place did you travel to that you liked the most?
last year I went to the Cancun.
Cancun, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is nice. Did you go in the winter?
Last year's October, and we can go swimming.
Yeah.
It's less weather.
Yeah.
And maybe next week, April, I go to the other country. Maybe have the ship.
Cruise?
Yeah, cruise.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. Ritesh, what is a hobby of yours?
Oh, my hobby is travel and take a photo.
Okay. So where have you traveled? That's really interesting.
Yellowstone.
Okay. I have not been there. Okay. All right. Lucy, what about you?
My hobby is sports.
Okay. What sport is your favorite? I know.
Yeah, play ping pong.
Okay. Sonny, what is a hobby of yours?
My hobbies is traveling, cooking, and shopping.
Okay. And where what's the most interesting place you've traveled to?
Traveled to 2 years ago. I visited Western Europe.
Okay. And Kate, what about you?
I like sports, cook, reading.
Okay.
Yoga.
So this is kind of like probably like asking Lucy what her favorite sport is, but what's your favorite sport?
Yoga.
Okay.
I like climbing. Climbing.
Climbing, yeah. I like hiking, mountain climbing. Okay, like mountain climbing.
老师问你是不是喜欢爬山？
Yes.
Yeah, I like that too. I do want to go to Yellow Mountain and climb that. Someday I'll do that. Someday when we can go to China. But
Yeah.
all right. So Linda, what's a hobby of yours?
My hobby is I like to sing.
Okay.
And I also like before I like play tennis.
Okay. What kind of songs do you like to sing?
Mostly Chinese song, some English songs.
Okay.
Pop music.
All right, it's already 9:30. So it is late. So I do want to thank you for being with me tonight, and I will send out the whiteboard. I'll also send out the practice exercises for the unit that we did. If you want to work on those, and as I've said before, if you want to send them back to me, I can look at them for you, but I will send them to you. Anybody have any questions?
No, thank you.
Oh, I ask a question.
Sure.
Yeah. How many and how much different? Yeah. 我不知道这个是单数和复数的区别，还是说的可数名后边跟的是可数和不可数名词的区别。
可数和不可数。
对，可数和不可数是吧？
对。
So many is used for countable, much is for uncountable.
Uncountable. Uncountable.
So like how many phones? And
how many phones?
How much rice?
How much rice?
Yeah.
Rice 是不可数是吧？
Yeah.
不可数用 how much?
Yeah.
可数用 how many?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I know. Thank
all right.
you.
Any other questions?
No.
All right, everyone, have a good night, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Phil.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. See you next
Good
time.
night. Good night.
See you.